We appreciate that. We're gonna snap here.
Can we set it like right in here? Hell yeah. Out of the way, love it. If I make a video for professional casual for my Bretonians like Taylor did, is it okay if I wear sexy leather pants? Yes. If you don't wear the sexy leather pants, I'm gonna take it down. So that's kind of on you.
This hot, delicious KFC meal is just full.
Let's try to see if we can hold down a chicken nugget.
Taylor as well. Let's get some thunder spine tails. Hopefully they move faster than snails. I think they all look a little bit pale. Oh well, hey, chain lightning. Oh crap. These crashers are kind of enhancement shamans. Or maybe, well, that's not what I meant. Captain, who is Defenders.
Oh, okay.
Probably pretty confident in that matchup, I'd assume, right?
Yeah, I mean, we both want to kill each other.
Yeah.
I think my list does it a little better.
Well, especially because you're probably going to be running kind of a more narrow list, so
yep.
The opportunity for like a joint effort, Devil's Deliverance is not going to be as prevalent.
My goal is to get a 15-point E scenario.
Yeah.
And just run Hulk, CPR, and Star Wars, and just run it up the middle.
The game is changing.
That this guy was my friend. Mine. This is why we're not going to get people to play with us. Chris gave us a really good shot, and you guys murdered him 3 games in a row. You murdered him 3 games in a row. You were getting shot by a manticore, yeah? I'm sorry, Chris. And a squirrel at each location. Don't mind if I do.
According to Greek mythology, Herodotus was a big nerd. Okay, that was the last one.
Kara gets annoyed with me when I mess with her red wine collection. So I started adding fruit and lemonade to it. Now she's sangria than ever.
You know your boy likes a good alcohol. Like what? A lot. Like a lot. Ah, nuts. Oh, dude, today was a hell of a stream. Hell of a good time. Dr.D, holy crap.
Tim, I need you to answer a question. According to Greek mythology, can you teach me how to make flips later?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. That is something I can do for you for certain. I actually don't really know. Alyssa would be the person to enlighten you on that.
Whee! Oh god, it's too big. Oh no! Oh, that's because I got my car. That's just silly Billy. Look at that! Boom! It's me. I'm here, guys. I was in Florida this morning, but I made it. I'm here. Hooray! Everybody's happy. I'm not playing Freebird. No. Nobody likes you. No. Voted to paint the Malosaurus Rex, which is this big old doofus. Pretty great model. Big issue that I had is that it has some weird. It has like a couple pretty nasty gaps, which aren't like a huge problem. But I decided that I was gonna wait. I might do it tomorrow because I gotta fill in some of these gaps. Because like the arm doesn't fit quite flush. Honestly, when it's primed, it probably wouldn't be like a huge deal, but I figured what I would do now that I got back from Florida is I would go through and clean some of these up. If this thing would just focus, please. Oh, clean the camera. There we go. That's better. It's just greasy. It's just greasy. There was a Infinity event there. Actually, oddly enough, I'm wearing the shirt for it. It was called Dogfinity. It was a charity event where we raised money for animal shelters. It's called Gamma and Hooch. Let's see if I get the back art. The art is actually like really, really good. Right there. But it's a Gamma. So the ironic part was, it's the army. The models I went are the army I play in the same color scheme that I paint them. And it was a dog-themed event, and I've put my own dogs on the models. And I was like, wow, what are the chances of that? That's crazy. So when we went down there, it was in the EA HQ building in Florida. So the Electric Arts, the guys that make video games, it was in their HQ building. And a good friend of mine, James Pittman, was throwing it. And so this was the first year where it was a narrative, and it was a blast. It was actually like super, super well run. The prize pool was insane. I'll probably be posting pictures and stuff about it on Arachne, and we'll probably have an episode of it in a couple weeks. But absolutely phenomenal event. If you are thinking about going to an Infinity event and you really don't want to take it like that seriously, highly recommend it. There was literally no winner. There was like a it's based off the Adepticon rules, because the guy that ran the Adepticon narrative was actually there, and he's going to be doing his own version of the event in Indiana, and I want to say September, which is going to be cat themed. So if you are an Infinity player and you want to raise money for animals and animal shelters, go to the event. So it's called the Catastrophe. The dogs are the real winners. You're not wrong. So the event, he doesn't have the precise number, but when we were looking at the numbers, EA, to their credit, mind you, EA was going to give, they were going to match whatever we paid for the donation up to $5,000, and we hit it. So he said he didn't have the exact number, but we did raise approximately, like, I'm gonna throw out a ballpark, probably like $12,000 for local dog charities. Does everyone get a dog Wenders? No, I couldn't even bring my dog. That's how, you know, Tizzy. It's that profiling. You know, it's that Florida profiling, the Florida man profiling. It's nasty. I had to beat that out of my system, but you know, it's not fair. I don't agree with it.
That's why we keep an attorney on.
That's true. That's true. You gotta have an attorney on retainer at all times, just in case. But yeah, it was an absolutely phenomenal event. We'll definitely be doing an episode of Arachne here soon. James and me have been buddies for quite a while, ever since I was like, I mean, heck, I probably knew him when I first started like community college. Why does Florida hate dogs? I don't know. They don't, clearly, because we just raised $12,000 for it. But there were a lot of people from outside of the state. Obviously, there were some people from Indiana. The guy that runs the Adepticon stuff. He was there. It's Chad. His name is Chad. Phenomenal individual. I might have him on the show eventually. Did Tim change his name to Florida? No. I don't think he did. He was probably too exhausted from ACO to want to do much of anything. He definitely didn't want to go through the Florida process of changing his name. Or the government process of changing. I guess it's different in Florida. You could just call yourself whatever you want. So the model that we were supposed to paint today was going to be the Malosaurus Rex. Like I was just saying, a bunch of people just joined in. So it has some like interesting gapping issues. So I'm going to actually fill these gaps before I paint it. Because it was a vote. It was actually a tie between this and the Kappa, which I'm just going to do neither because I'm a man of democracy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint Lord Cooper, from Malifaux, which is in his keyword, so it's not that off. But I'm going to paint Lord Cooper, who's one of the leaders. He is essentially a trope on The Most Dangerous Game, because he hunts humans with this big old rifle of his. I believe it is lovingly referred to as the compensator, because it's in a very suggestive place. If you want me to explain that joke more, send me a Discord message on to Dr.D, Dr.D on Discord, and I'll explain what I mean. Man of democracy, people want to kill us. No, literally nobody wants that other than you. You're the only one that wants that. And even with your, I'm not sure if this joke is appropriate, but with your landowner rights of having a vote that matters more than everybody else, I still think they outnumber you on that one. It's funny you say that, Rylan. I have a freestanding Huggy. I actually have one. I don't know where the rest of his crew went, so I have this just this bucket of just random models that are Malifaux. I just throw them in there because I don't know where the rest of it is. It's actually ironic that you say that because I'm pretty sure I have a Huggy. I might have actually. Yeah, here he is. Right. Unbelievable enough, I have a Huggy. I have a Hungry Darkness. No idea where Jacob is. I think I still have some of the henchmen that go with the crew in here somewhere. Ironically enough, I actually have a Hungry Darkness. What are the chances? I even have some of the old avatars. So this is the Hoffman one. Yeah, Hoffman's right there. He's just a baby. He's just a little baby. So heck, I guess if you guys want me to paint it, I will. I really don't want to buy the box because I don't want to play Honeypot, the Honeypot keyword. I've been for 60 streams in a row, and only 5 of them have been Tim. I don't know. I'm sorry, but
Tim needed this night off. That's why Dr. D is doing the stream tonight, because Tim has a family.
I don't know if you can hear her, but I don't know. He needs a break. I thought we are friends, Tizzy, but you keep asking for things I can't do. Buy an Achilles and send it, and I'll paint it for you. I'm never gonna play Aleph. It's never gonna happen.
He literally says that on the podcast.
Yeah, I strongly dislike Aleph. But Honeypot created its own keyword with blackjack and I can't say I don't get my, listen. They actually do have those things. Because it's a casino. Anyway, the irony is I actually do have a Hungering Darkness. I don't know why I would only paint a Hungering Darkness. If you wanted something like this, I could paint the Devas from I think it's an Umbra keyword from Explorer Society. I would be more likely to paint that. They do and doctor that way. Yeah, I know it's a bad word. It's a bad word. I'm gonna get excommunicated from Twitch if I say that word. Play Steel Family? No, absolutely never going to happen. I'm not even gonna say it. That's another word. If I say I'm gonna get excommunicated, I'm not gonna say that word. All right. Anyway, so I was painting models before the event, and I actually slammed out a digger the night before I left. I was thinking that I was going to switch the paint scheme on her up enough where it wasn't the same color as my other models in the army, because this is a mercenary, and they work for mining, like a mining corporation or something like that. So I was like, oh, look at that. Let's slam out a digger. I think because Augmented is Guild, right? I have a lot of Augmented because I used to play Guild. I had all of Guild up to a certain point. And that was before I stopped playing in I say N2 because that's an Infinity Com. Second edition.
What's the green stuff on the
Marshall's good. Yeah, Marshall used to be terrible. What?
What's the green stuff on the side of her base? Is that geology?
That's the sight lines. So in that game, you can only see in the front.
Oh, so it helps you with.
It just yeah, a little decorative thing.
I don't know. She's freaking awesome, and it's a shame that you didn't stream the paint job of her because it was one of those things where you just banged it out.
Yeah, and I finished this in a day. I did this in a single night. Yeah, this is I was up till 4 in the morning painting this. I was like, and I used her once. It was not a good decision. I did not do it great. Yeah, Augmented is Guild and Arcanist, yeah. Listen, if you guys send me these things, there's a chance I'll paint them, but I'm not buying these things because I got enough shit as it is. I'm going to be painting Explorers Society. There's a lot of cool stuff. Explorer Society has a little bit of everything. It's got robots and Tiri and stuff, and I'll paint it. But I'm not employed right now, so I'm not buying entire crews. Okay, you convinced me. I'll buy all of them, and I'll just do it for fun. Anyway, so if you want to know how to paint this screen, there is a blog on it. How to paint green without fear. It's the exact same paints and all that. Actually, every single thing on this, I guess, except for the cargo pants. I went cargo pants because she's a worker.
Whoever this is, you can.
No, I'm not painting Shatterpoint. That's Tizzy. Come to NashCon, I can give you a bunch of Malifaux stuff. Why would I go to NashCon? Riddle me that. Tell me, Rylan. Listen, Rylan, I love you. Like a man would get in trouble if God found out, but I got no reason to go to NashCon. I don't play. I'm not traveling for MCP event. It's not happening. You see, that is a tempting offer, but I definitely am not going for. I'm not going to travel all that distance to play an MCP game. It's not happening. You have to go to NashCon, but you also are going to get fired from the network if you don't. If you don't go to NashCon, you bum. I'm not playing any. Okay, well, what other events are there? Anyway, yeah. So and then I went with like a blue collar working shirt, which is it's just like a gray work shirt. I think it came out really good. You guys are talking about going to NashCon. I'm talking about look at this incredible paint job I did. But fine. It's fine. Whatever. I don't care. Nobody cares. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna paint the doggos. Yay, doggos! Because we're gonna celebrate Dogfinity. So this is Artemis and Uller, which are the henchmen for the Apex keyword in Malifaux. They're going to be pretty simple because they're dogs, so they're only like a super simple color scheme. The collars will be black, they're brown with some like white spots. We'll do the base real quick, and mum's the word. And those will be done. We might be able to finish those tonight. Play unload the terrain. Listen. By the way, I also got an offer to help at Gen Con for the Infinity people, which I know that you guys had asked me to maybe help out with the Ace AMG stuff. So I don't know. Everybody keeps asking me to go to Gen Con. I'm mighty tempted. I think it's a little too soon, especially after I start working, because I'll be working by that point, and I'm not going to be making a lot of money. So maybe. Gen Con is August 1st. It's like August 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or something like that. No, that one's in Indianapolis. Well, yeah, Indiana. Yeah, Indiana. AOS, Bolt Action, Lord of the Rings, Saga. Gen Con's not cheap. I've been to Gen Con a lot. It's not. It was never cheap at all for me. Okay, so what was I saying? Had a brain fart. NashCon's tempting, I'm not gonna lie, but what would I don't really like. I play a lot of those games, but I don't want to go to an event because I'm gonna spend the money on the plane ticket, and then I'm gonna spend money on staying, and then I'm gonna have a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. There's no denying that. But then I'm gonna go play the event, and then some guy who is wanting to not make the game fun is gonna be like, I'm gonna play this Japanese only bamboo fighter list where he's gonna have like 700 models on the table, and there's nothing you could do about it. Is there like narrative? If there's narrative events, I might go, because then those people usually leave me alone. I know there's a Gen Con. Well, Gen Con I'd be working. I couldn't play anything, which is hit or miss. Kick him in the D. Who? Tim? I can do that. Let me at him. Oh, you know what? I'm turning the stream off. I'm gonna go to Tim's house and I'm gonna kick him in the D. I don't know anything at any of the other games at Nashville. Okay, well, I'll look into it. Because honestly, if there's like, I don't think there's Infinity. I think I looked. I don't think there's any Infinity. I go to play board games, hang out with friends. Yeah, that would be the reason I would go. But the problem is I'm not employed, Rylan. I can't just buy plane tickets. They cost like $500. Once I'm working, I'll go to all of the cons because I'll have Mondays off, so I can just work a half day Friday and just leave and then come back Monday. It'll be great. 3 Hours of Secret. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that guy's name on Twitch. It is a great game though. I love Secret H. Yeah, that's a great, phenomenal party game. Anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go for like a more probably unsaturated brown on the dogs. So we're actually not gonna go with the tried and tested Scrag Brown. I know it's crazy. You're probably thinking Dylan's lost his mind. But we're probably going to go something more along the lines of going into something like this, where this will be like the highlight, where it'll be like this kind of ochre white, yellow. We're probably going to use a little bit of this, little XV88. It's a pretty good color for this. And then the other one that I'm thinking is maybe like a Guncore Brown. So I'm thinking maybe this will be the transition. Something kind of like this. And it's already been base coated with Rhinox Hide, which is a GW color. Nice and red. So, which is a great base coat for brown. And also, maybe we'll finish Lando. I did start painting Lando on my own. I finished the browns. I got to do the pants. And then, just like little bits and pieces. The model's really not that complicated, which is nice. And hopefully I can finish. Hopefully, if we finish a lot of this stuff today, we might just do that tomorrow. I go to play. I don't know anything. Problems. So I don't know who I'm kicking though. I don't have any current whips, but I can post some pics in the channel. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do it. If I'm here, I'm doing that. That's a part of the stream now. Okay, so we got to start figuring out what colors we're gonna do. So we got Rhinox Hide. I think this is gonna be like I think the main color because it's a little bit less cartoony as far as fur goes. These pots are really hard to take off, so if I use my teeth on that, I don't want to hear anybody say anything about it. I don't ever get any in my mouth, so it's fine. That's what she said. So these dogs, I believe, are part of the same litter, so they'll be pretty similar color-wise, so I don't think it's going to be weird if we paint them relatively similar colors. So we're also going to put some white spots on them. Again, it'll be more like a gray color. It won't be like a pure white because that won't look quite right. But again, thinking about light source, probably going to be coming from this direction. So most of the highlighting is going to be on this side of this dog. And then we'll do it straight on him looking. And it'll be like this direction on this guy. So then we just start putting paint on a model. Dogfinity, absolutely phenomenal event though. If anybody is interested in playing Infinity but is a little worried that the competitiveness of it would ruin your time, it is actually the perfect event to go to. I would highly recommend it. The buy-in price was a little steep, but it all goes to charity, and the amount of prize support they had was absolutely insane. A lot of it was custom built. There was some custom built. There's a riot stopper, which is like a weapon prop from in the game. Warsenal, the guy that owns Warsenal actually lives in Florida. He'll eventually be on the show too, but he's down there. He donated a lot of like terrain for the prize raffle stuff. What else? The EA building was crazy. We had free drinks. Like free, like nice drinks. Like fancy coffee machine and stuff like that. Like that building's crazy how nice it was. I definitely will be going every year. Thankfully, my family lives in the area. Like my dad lives there. So it wasn't like a huge deal. Room and board wise. So it was a fairly cheap thing for me other than the plane ticket. So it was good. It was nice and easy. It's definitely something I would like to go to every year. It's unfortunately, I think, the same weekend. It was the same weekend as SLS, which is Salt Lake Showdown, which happened this last weekend. So it was a big week for Infinity. Which Devin from Metachem, he went to SLS. He actually got surprised with the ability to go. So I haven't talked to him since I got back. So hopefully he had a good time. He was excited to play some models that you don't usually play in Aleph. So the cool thing about this model is there's definitely like some fur texture going on the top, which is cool. We can definitely play with that. Get some sweet blends. Sweet. And it's definitely cool that coming from Arachne and going to more events, more and more of them, as the host of Arachne, how you start to meet people that you consistently see. So, like, we bumped into Bruno, who is the Belgian assassin. Very, very famous Infinity player. Jeez. That is so loud. Thank you, Hinklemeyer, for the resub. That scared the living bejangles out of me. Woo! Welcome, though. What? I know. I think pretty sure I've seen you. Boo! Boo! What are you booing me for? I didn't do anything. I'm just talking about the sweet event I went to. Listen, man, I helped get a bunch of money for Doggos in Florida. Quite a bit of money, actually. And I did it for charity. Scared you, wrong boom. Oh, boo! Oh, I got you. Are you spooky ghost?
Wow.
Wow. And you give me a what? Oh God. There goes the neighborhood. Wayne the Brain McLean. Yes, yes, God, yes. Well, if you're so smart, why don't you just magic yourself up a girlfriend? Fine, I will. Good. Great. We'll get out of here. Fine, I will. Take your girlfriend with you. She's with me. Don't look at her. Today is going to be post your favorite Carl. Your favorite Carl line from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Thank you again, Henkelmeyer. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to detract. I really do appreciate that. Everything you guys do, bits and money-wise, does go directly to me on the days that I'm on here, which is very helpful for my current situation. Not that I'm like desperate for money, but it's nice to like see at least a little bit of a little jingle roll in. I'm doing some blood donations. I'm doing some coverage work, so everything should be fine, but it's always good to have a little backup. Okay, so when you're painting dogs, the cool thing is, or anything fuzzy, actually, because I've painted some foxes from Inari. It's okay to be rough, actually, because if you get like a beaten texture, obviously fur isn't usually super uniform. So it's actually okay when you're doing the sketching highlight stuff for this, that it's not like super smooth. It's actually, if anything, it might actually work to your advantage. Also, I put skulls from the GW skull kit, so there's that. He's sniffing out a plague bearer. I wonder where that came from.
My wife told me she was done with me. I asked why, and she said, for starters, all of your jokes are terrible.
Sure.
I thought about it for a moment and replied, okay. What about the main course?
What? For starters, all your jokes are terrible. I thought for... Oh, for for starters. Oh goodness. Oh, if you guys do certain, that was a really good one. I tried figuring out how to do the streamer attack thing, and for some reason the thing that lets me do it is not in the normal spot. So I don't know how to put that back on. So I'll actually have to figure that out. I've been very busy since the last time I saw you guys. Oh, thanks, Hinklemeyer, for the bits. Oh, Hinklemeyer, you're my biggest fan. Thank you. You painting, Hinklemeyer? Or are you just here to see a grown man smile? Yay! Ah! How many is that? Oh, you're gonna make me count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 460. Oh, thank you very much, man. I really do appreciate that. That is very, very generous of you. I appreciate that. 40k Tau! Girl? You got any of the new crew? I think that was something that came out in 40k recently, was crew. Now, are those crew a part of Tau? Or are they like their own? You're painting Farsight. Farsight. Dude, Farsight's legit. He was my favorite part of Tau. He's like the leader. He's like the leader we all wish we deserved. But you got the Celestial, or not the Celestials, the Ethereals. They're the ones you deserve. The Farsights are the ones that you hope you get. Thanks, Rylan, for the 10 bits. They're a part of Tau, but now they have a legit army. Yeah, because they used to have in 8th, they used to have like a separate formation or whatever the heck they call them, where it was the 8. Like that was an army you could legitimately play with them, which was essentially just 8 suits. And I think that was it, right? It was just 8 models. Farsight came out in 5th edition. That I know, because him and Shadow Sun came out around the same time, because they're supposed to be the opposite ends of the military strategy thing. Like one is the aggressive one, and Shadow Sun is the defensive one, the patient one. I used to play Tau, actually. I was gonna do a joke, but 10 is the 10 is the minimum. I appreciate it either way, buddy. You could have 24 bat. Yep, I heard about that. Yes, you could take his own guard of battle suits. That didn't count towards your BS count. BS count. Oh, battle suit count. Okay. Oh, okay, sweet. 24 battle suits. How are Tau doing these days? I don't play 40k anymore, but I still hear a lot about it. And Tau are usually one of the ones where either they're doing like super phenomenal or they're just the bottom of the pile. And it seems like it changes every time I hear about it. It's either the bottom or the top. Rank 3rd, 4th, depending on how well you know them. Oh, sweet. Not including broadsides. Broadsides are I really wish broadsides were better back in the day, but man, they were terrible. Absolutely my favorite suit. I'm not a big fan of like giant robots, so the Riptide and the oh gosh, what are the slightly smaller ones? You get a movable shield wall with a cannon. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Oh no, that was terrain, right? It's like a piece of terrain you could bring. The tidal wall or something like that. So you got like a 2-up armor save, because I think Fire Warriors are 4 pluses, right? Hi, Wilmar. I made a joke about you showing up early. I didn't see you say anything, so what are you painting, buddy? Ranked her for about 9 quests. He could take his own guard. I was gonna do a joke. Till first. Just make sure I didn't miss anything. First, yeah, okay, got it all. Well, Rylan, I knew eventually you'd come around. You said you came back. You kept coming back for Taylor, but you got me, and now you're indoctrinated. Very similar to characters in Mass Effect. The indoctrination. I played Wilmar In Malifaux Wednesday, we had a great time. I got to try 2 masters. I tried Jezda and I tried Lord Cooper. I really enjoyed both of them. Jezda is definitely something that I think I want to get more experience with. Lord Cooper too. Honestly, I haven't bumped into a master in that game that I haven't liked yet on some level. Again, we're mostly just goofing off because we're both we're both like legitimately bad at everything that we do, especially talk to girls. So we just talk to each other, and one of us talks like a girl, so we can get some practice in. I think it's working out pretty good, personally, myself. Drones are just equipment now. Their models don't count towards. That's cool. I'm assuming, is it all the drones? Because I remember before you could have like a drone unit of like 2 drones that could be like either sniper drones or whatever. Who needs a tailor when we have a who? I'm Dr. D. Dr. D! Hooray! I was here earlier. Someone asked you to paint Ajax or whatever, and you said no. But then I went to get dinner. Flying magic dinner. silly daddy. Can't he cop it? Oh, they got rid of drone units. Really? That's interesting. That was like, that's the thing. Well, you know what? That was the thing for a long time. At least in 7th, 8th, and 9th. I felt like the drone units were a problem because they would, like, eat wounds. Battlesuits are now a la carte. You have 3 choices. Interesting. Nah, you gotta boil it first. Soften up the glue. What is it? What is this? Is this carpet? Is this carpet, Daddy? No, it's Berber. It's an industry term. Oh, I should also say, they gave out free HVT models at Dogfinity. It's a little doggy ninja. It's so cute. Look at this thing. It's so stupid. I love it. And it was made by Ignition Core, if anybody's actually heard of them. They make really cool, like, little tiny, like, chibi mechs and stuff. They're super great models. More dog. Yeah, yeah. Well, I went to Dogfinity this weekend, which was a dog charity event. We raised $12,000 for dog shelters in Florida. Because I just got home this morning. I had to wake up at 4 a.m. to make it to the airport, and then as soon as my butt hit the seat in front of my terminal, or not in front of my terminal, the gate. They were like, oh, by the way, it's going to be a 2-hour extra wait because we need 2 flight attendants that are on another flight that's already like 2 hours late. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I was like sleep deprived. I got home, immediately took a nap, and then I had to meet up with somebody because he needs me to dog sit for him. So I didn't get a very long nap. Then I played some Fallout New Vegas because Kara is really interested in the Fallout universe after the show. I've been a busy boy. Wow, why aren't you painting? I might paint it eventually. So the big problem is War Crow's about to come out, and I've been talking to CB. I'm not entirely sure what the embargo date on that is. I think I'm going to be able to paint it because it's technically a demo set. So I don't think there's a problem. But as soon as I get it, I'll probably paint some of those models on the stream. I already have one of their models. Here it is. This one, actually, I got at an event, so this shouldn't be a problem as far as any embargo dates or anything go. But this is somebody from Scion, who I will probably be painting this at some point. Good God, I got so much to do. You gotta boil it first. More doggos. A buddy of mine has much of Ignition Core. We're supposed to play some. I actually am kind of curious. I really dig the models. Like I've always said, I'm not a huge fan of like giant robot games because I'm like I don't know, a baby, and I just for some reason it's like a hang up of mine. But it actually I just really dig the aesthetic of like a chibi Gundam. I don't know. There's no way I can get a new game though, but I would paint them. I think they're cool. I just think they're neat. That's awesome. Well done. Thanks, Dan. It was a great event. Absolutely phenomenal. If anybody's interested in Infinity, like I'll always tell everybody, go to that event. Oh no, it was 4 a.m. was brutal. I got home after we went out to dinner for the event. I got home at I got at my dad's house at midnight, and then it takes a little while to fall asleep. And let's just say I woke up and I didn't feel particularly well rested. Put it nicely. All right, so now we're gonna mix in a little bit of this bright yellow ochre. And we're going to get like a little bit of this color. I really think that this is a good... Let me see. Let me see if there's like a good piece of art for them. Because they're supposed to be bloodhounds. Okay, so... Here, I'm going to switch it to... So this is kind of what I'm looking at. This like very unsaturated brown. This one's not safe for work apparently. This guy did his art. That's Artemis. I think this one's Artemis. So the Artemis a little bit more on the brown side. I really dig this guy's paint jobs. I see his stuff all over the place. This is essentially what gave me the original idea of what color to go with these guys. But I'm a really big fan. Really big fan of those colors. Okay, so again, we're just taking a poopy brush, and we're not like looking for like super precision here. I just want to make sure I don't put too much paint on this, and I'm gonna pull it towards the light source. And we'll see where we go from there. Yeah, that Malosaurus Rex like looks legitimately really good. I think I'll talk about it later, but I think with mine, I don't know if you were here for it. This was supposed to be the model we painted next. It has some bad gaps in it, which I'm gonna fill, and we might do it tomorrow. But if we don't do it tomorrow, it's definitely on the back burner. I will do this one on stream because I'm sure a lot of people are interested in this one. But yeah, like that right there, it's a bit of a nasty seam there. But I'm going to fill it in with some goo. But I needed to do that before I primed it. Yeah, okay, there you go. See? Yeah, more on that. Oh no, the four sounds rough. LOL. First, I would like to represent the blue collars community by saying, as a man who has gotten up at 3 a.m. for 15 years, man, I'd like to sleep until 4 a.m. That's fair. Listen, I used to have a job when I worked at a grocery store where I had to wake up and be at work at 5 and 6 a.m. every morning. And yeah, it's not fun. I did it for a very, very long time. I worked there for 5 years. Not to detract from what you're saying. I'm going to say you definitely win the pity party. Or not, I don't want to say pity party. The better human being contest for that one. But, yeah. Waking up that early is not enjoyable. You get out early. You get out early as long as your job is nice, I guess. Which is kind of cool, because you still get like the day, but then you realize you got to go to bed early the next day anyway, because if you're going to work the next day. So it stinks. I kind of want the bear model they have for Warcrow. It's a really cool model. I don't think I think the bear guy, usually when CB releases stuff like that, it works for both of the factions that are being released on when they do it. I don't believe the bear works for Hegemony. I think it only works for the Northern Tribes. But don't quote me on that. I don't know. So if you are buying it hoping that you're going to be able to do the usual thing where CB releases models that is usable by both sides, I don't think the bear is. I think it's only Northern Tribes. But I don't know for sure. I think my Malosaurus Rex would probably be like green and black, because I really love greens. I'm thinking, I don't know if you were here earlier, Wilmar, but I was talking about the digger I painted for the event. I'll probably do this kind of green with like a lot of black. I think it'll look really good. God, this model came out so good. Came out so good. That model looks like Michael Strahan's teeth. Because of the gap! Jeez. Shush! Woo! Woo, boy! Woo, boy! Sure does, Jerry. Leftover scars from Lady J. Yeah, in the game, the T-Rex fought the blind lady with the greatsword, and he learned himself a lesson. She took half of his health on her turn, and Lady J has this like counter-attack thing that if you hit her in melee, she'll bonk you back and killed me on my turn. Because I was hoping to get the heal trigger on a ram on his attack, but I couldn't get it because my deck did not want to cooperate, and the skull. There was some reason I couldn't use. I had a ram in my hand, and I was thinking, is it worth using this? Because he's probably gonna die next turn anyway. And I just didn't fight it. You know, I just kind of laid there and just took it. I let the blind lady beat a dinosaur to death with her greatsword. As is tradition for dinosaur hunting. When you fight it, you want to fight it with a greatsword while also being blindfolded. That way, it doesn't scare you. With it was 105 Fahrenheit in the weld shop. Fudge that. I mean, it was probably 105 in Florida this weekend. That was pretty brutal. Again, not comparing myself to your situation. That is awful. You have my condolences on that one. Well, the thing is, I did construction for a while before I became a chiro. And it was in the, of course it was in the summer, of course, because I graduated in July. So I moved in with my mom, because I told her I would move in with her for a little while after I finished school, and so I lived with her for, oh goodness me, it must have been like 2-3 months while I was waiting for my Massachusetts chiro license to go through, and I did some construction off the books. And it was hot, and it was muggy, and it was hard work. Do not recommend. And this entire... we were building chicken houses. So, like, the houses where they put, like thousands of chickens for farming. And it was a whole, like, business thing, because they were building probably 12 of these things, and there was a lot of people that were there. There was construction people. We were the people that were furnishing the equipment that was used after the building was made. So it was like the windows and some of the feeders and stuff like that. We put a lot of the insulation in the wall, which that was the whole thing. It was brutal work. It was absolutely brutal. And there was probably a good 30, 40 people there all at a time, and we all shared one porta potty that they never emptied. Bro, let me tell you something. In the hot, muggy Missouri clay, it was nasty. Absolutely nasty. I wouldn't wish Wilmar to work there. Let's just put it that way. Honestly, it just looks like a good model of paint. Unlikely I'll fall into Warcraft unless a bunch of people play it vocally. Let me just tell you, I'm going to be playing a lot of it, so if you want to play with me, I'll be playing it. But we'll talk more about that in person. Nice green on the... Thank you. I know, right? Look at that green. It's so good. Look at that transition. Look at that. It's so good. If that's not a clip, I don't know what is. I'm just thinking, if I was clipping, yeah, I'd clip that. Oh gosh. We will be doing some whips later. I usually do it after about an hour, which we're coming up on. So if you guys are painting stuff, we should celebrate. Celebration. All right, and I don't have to be anywhere tomorrow morning. So I can literally stream for the majority of the night. I just have to make sure I upload Arachne for tomorrow. You guys get a little bit of a spoiler because you guys get to see me right before we release it, but it is a book review for Downfall. Me and Ernie talk about the first Infinity book. So, not a very long episode if you actually intend to ever read the book, because I recommend you do read it. Spoiler alert, I thought it was a phenomenal book. And when I was at Dogfinity, Jay at the Warsenal booth actually had the other 2 books, so I bought them, and I've read a pretty good chunk of the second book, Team Z, while I was on my wonderful little delayed flight. So I actually got a good chunk of it done. It's actually a pretty good book. It's really good, actually. I don't know if it beats Downfall yet, but I feel like it starts off a little better. Like, it's a little more interesting at the beginning. Like, Downfall had a little bit of a burn at the beginning where you kind of had to get through the setup. And I think it had a phenomenal payoff. I really love the characters in that book. And very, very similar to how the first one went in Downfall. In Team Z, at the beginning, a lot of the characters show up, and you're like, this is going to be some one-dimensional doofus that I don't really care about. They're just kind of be there to be like some kind of plot device or whatever. Very first chapter that they donate to one of the characters that I was originally being like, it's going to be whatever. I'm like already sympathetic to her. I'm like, damn it. I'm like, this is already a super neat character. Like, her whole issue is that she can't connect to people because her parents died, and so she's like on some kind of, I wouldn't say, like, I don't think she's autistic. I would say she's probably like, she might have like Asperger's, where she can't look at people, and she's a hacker, so she's trying to do like contract mercenary work, but she can't like stay with the mercenary troops because she can't connect with them. And I just thought that was like a really cool like little addition, where when you first are introduced to the character, she's kind of like a bee, because she doesn't want to like talk, and you kind of get this like feeling that she's indifferent. She's like doesn't care about what's happening, and she has to use like a camera to look at people. But then it goes into like her point of view and clarifies it, and I'm like, that's such a great idea. So big fan of the book already. Very Nomad centric, which is fine. Nomads weren't in Downfall at all. I don't think it was like a they might have like mentioned that the Nomads existed in some of the political stuff, but there were definitely no characters from Nomads. So it's cool that they got their own little like time in the sunshine, and it so far has included all of the motherships. So it's had some Tunguska, it's had a lot of Corregidor, and it's had a little bit about Bakunin. Bakunin's probably the least, like one of the characters from there, but not. They haven't gone to Bakunin at least yet. And there's like this financial crisis thing that's happening, which they're trying to figure out. It's pretty good. I'm not really spoiling anything because all this stuff happens in like the first, I don't know, like 50 pages of the book. But huge fan. Really, really enjoying it so far. And I also got the third book, which name I'm not even going to try and pronounce because I will be kicked off of Twitch forever for doing some kind, saying some kind of like slander by accident because I don't know how to pronounce it. And then Tizzy keeps telling me to paint Ajax. So that's what my life is like right now. I like that brown. That looks like a nice natural brown. Look at that. Look at your doggos. You guys have that yellow in that fur, so it makes it look like natural fur. That's so cute. That's so cute. And as you can see, my brush is pretty butts. Like, this sucker's just falling apart. Which in a lot of ways is not necessarily a bad thing. Because it kind of feathers it a little bit. If you're looking for smooth paint jobs, don't use something like this. But when you're painting something like a doggo or something with fur, like a Nari for Bushido, which are like the foxes, or I guess an RE in general. Yeah, this is actually a pretty cool way to get like imperfect highlight. It's like kind of like a half stipple in a lot of ways. Because I also found, while I was cleaning out my backpack and stuff for getting ready to travel, I found my other corgi. It's the little warrior corgi, and he's just fur, so he would actually be a really good way to. Maybe I'll do a blog tutorial on him. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Twitch followers? You think a little bit of that? Question mark? So we will probably... I'm going to post the Discord page for the whips here momentarily. It does not cost anything to submit. All you got to do is join that Discord. Please keep it nice. I don't want to have to ban anybody. But post what you're painting, and we'll talk about it. And don't be self-conscious. I have seen a lot of different painters at different levels. And I got to say, Wilmar is the worst one. Without doubt. So you can't be worse than him. And so that means I'll have something nice to say about it. But if anybody wants some like tips or tricks on what they can do, or like color palette ideas or whatever, or blah blah, whatever you're thinking, give me a shout. That's why I'm here. I've already got one resub and a bunch of bits. It's all there for you now, baby. Hey yeah, baby. It's a coal train, baby. Oh, it's right there, Dylan, you dingus. Woo! Yeah, you're not wrong, bud. And if anybody is wondering, I love Wilmar to absolute death and back. So when I say these things, I say it in jest. Just don't tell him that. Me and him will be going to the girlfriend's improv recital thing this Wednesday. So I will report back how that goes. And she specifically told me, Wilmar, that she wants you to criticize her. So come with your criticizing hat on, I guess. Now you see how like that yellow, that ochre color makes it look really like a natural highlight to brown? Where if you were going to use something like this, it would be more cartoony. Which is fine. But if you're looking for like a more natural color palette, you want to include highlighting colors that contain mostly yellows or pure whites. Because that will unsaturate the color. We're just going to reinforce some of these highlights. Oh, I'm still highlighting the same model. I'm like, wow, this isn't making as big of an effect as I want. And again, if you have a bit of a rough highlight transition, that's okay. We're going to go back and we're going to fix some of that up. Because as you can tell from like that ear, if that skull will get out of the way, you can see that the bottom to that like mid zone there and then into that highlight, it's not super smooth on that blend. I'm not sure if the camera, yeah, there it goes. You can see a little better there. It's not like a very good transition of smoothness there. We can fix that. Fine, but I demand payment and name. Hey, whatever, man. Why do you want me to paint your name more? Or do you want me to just talk about it more? Not actually paint it. You just want me to have another have another like 3 a.m. Rant about Namor's rules. I thought you would want to paint Namor. I mean, I will do it. Don't get me wrong. I just figured that was something you'd want to paint. Although I'm sure you're kind of in a similar situation as me, where you want to paint literally everything, but then you have like 600 models sitting all over the place, and you're like, you know, if this model was just magically painted, maybe that wouldn't be so bad. Which I get. Fine, I need someone to go back to that stream and count how many times you said listen. I'm just saying. I'm just asking questions. That's the Alex Jones method, where you don't directly say something, you just say, listen, I'm just saying, I'm just asking questions, okay? What if we overthrew the government? I'm just asking questions, okay? I'm not saying anything. It's just a question. I'm just saying. Which I'm not going to get political, but that actually is like a phenomenon that for like they say that for legal purposes, so that they can't get in trouble. But I think every news person probably does that, not specifically just Alex Jones. Although I guess he's not a news person anymore. Anyway, let's talk about a less derisive figure. That's Lord Cooper, who hires people, tells them to start running, and then he kills them. I mean, you could trust that, right? I mean, look at him. You know exactly what you get into. You sign that contract, and hey, mum's the word. You better get running. You better just start running for your life. The Doggos looking real good though. What colors are you using? So we are. So we base coated Rhinox hide, classic GW paint. Definitely a base brown I use for almost everything because it's got just enough brown and just enough red in it to make it kind of interesting. Then we used a little bit of Privateer Presses. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we used Privateer Presses Guncore Brown, which is a nice unsaturated brown, which is going a little bit more towards the realism scale as opposed to cartoony. So this is what they call a saturated color because it is a higher what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's brighter, I guess is just the word I'm looking for, along with the gradient. So like these are both technically lighter than the Rhinox hide, but one goes saturated, the other one does not, because this contains a lot of like a brown pigment, while this one clearly goes towards a yellow or a white highlight. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So when you do this, this is where you go unsaturated. Saturated is when you maintain a high pigment content of the color that you're painting. So as a good example, this green, this is a very saturated green because it's very, very green. So if I were to do the exact same thing with this and I use that base green color and I highlighted it with a white or a like bleached bone type color, it would become a unsaturated green. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to need you to become the Bob Ross of mini painting models done in less than 30 minutes. I mean, you can do that. That's not hard. That's what contrast paints are for. I just don't paint like that. There are plenty of people on YouTube that do that. You go on there and they're like, oh, it's me. I'm John, YouTube painter. And what we're going to do is we're going to paint this model. What you do is take a airbrush and you're going to spray it with a zenithal highlight. And I don't know who I'm imitating, by the way. And then you're going to just take some of this contrast paint, which I It's on the other side of my model thing with your back here. So then you take your contrast, Blood Angel Red, and you just slap it on your model. Boom, blammo, you did it. You got a painted Blood Angel. There you go. Like and subscribe in the video down below. I don't know who I was imitating with that one. Yeah, I went over the color. Yep, less than 30 minutes. I don't know. I could do that. Oh, let me post the Discord. I'm over here. I'm faffing around. We got a faffer. Someone out there faffing. Here we go. So just join that Discord and post something in the Whips channel. I just saw some of the stuff in there. That looks really good. The wrestling. Gotta wrestle. Wrestling. Alright, so now I'm just putting a little bit more of that bright yellow ochre in there, and we're really skewing towards that. I might, for the extreme highlight, put in a little bit of that Screaming Skull, just give it a little laugh. Give it some pepper. So now it might be a good idea to actually use a nice brush. I'm actually just going to do a little bit of like stippling, because I really like the rough, like kind of maintaining that idea that the fur is not perfect. Where he did the furry doggo. So we're taking our butt brush, as in that it's a brush that's not high quality. It's not like a brush made of butt. Although I don't know how you could make a brush out of butt. I suppose it wouldn't be that hard. It sounds like Ariana Grande. Not that I know who that is. I don't listen to that music. Listen, I'm just saying that this is probably the music Namor listens to. Give a little highlight. Give a little highlight. Give a little highlight. Yeah. Give it to me. Yeah. 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 No. Give me that. Yeah. Boom, bam, 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 bo. Boom, boom. Oh, yeah. Work it for me. Do it, Artemis. I'm loving it. Go, girl. You're a good girl. It's true, though. Artemis is a good girl. She did a very good job in our game. Yeah, and me and Wilmar tied? I think we tied? Because we were playing Count the Votes, I think. And Artemis may in fact be a dog and only maybe a few years old, but a few years old, yeah. And her vote counts just as much as a death marshal. Democracy, ladies and gentlemen. Who'd have thought? All right, so there you go. This is actually, it's kind of cool that you can paint two models next to each other and you can kind of see the transitions. Yeah, it was a tie. Stuffed the ballots, and I couldn't get the schemes right. Because I killed the one death marshal that was gonna be sweating bullets or whatever. The one model in your army, I just picked him out with a bullet. But as you can see, you can start to see that more extreme stipple highlight. Here's the less highlighted side. So as you can see, we're getting some like transitions here, which is good. I love it. I'm really liking where we're going with this. It's real good. So we're coming from this way. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Why are the noises so loud? What your dog doing? I'm doing dog. Dog? I double dog dare you to paint a dog. Dog? Nah, I mean? So we also gave Swan a demo last Wednesday. I'm assuming that's who that is. If not, I'm sorry. But by the way, thank you for the follow, Real Swan. You go by the same name on everything, so I'm assuming that's you. Yeah, a lot happened in that game against Wilmar. A dog outvoted a human. A blind lady cut a dinosaur in half. What else? A lady dressed like it's the De la Muerta. Someone stole your music. Oh my gosh. I'll get on the case. I'll figure out who it is. Well, you wouldn't be the real Swan. Would you? Are you fake Swan? That means you're not the real Swan, though. I think we're about to have one of those like paradoxes. Dad, do you think you could tell me a bedtime paradox? I don't know. Doggo's looking pretty good. Well, if you want me to paint Namor, Wilmar, do you want me to paint him like a dog? Oh, in a couple weeks there might be a third dog here. There might be another corgi. We're gonna watch him for a week, or her for a week. Be another doggy. So there might be a new kind of bark in the background. Isn't that exciting? Met her today. She's so sweet. She's such a sweet little 14-year-old corgi. She's so cute. The dog cam thing should be a thing, shouldn't it? I gotta buy another. I gotta buy another camera. Because the thing is they have a bunch of little beds underneath there, so they're usually hanging out with me when I'm painting. It's usually just Bubby, and Chunk sleeps on the couch on the other side of the house. If you see that little like black and gray ball over there. That's a fuzz ball. He's a good boy though. You have all the real estate on the screen. I do. You think that's why people are here though? It's for the painting. Okay. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's start doing whips here in a second. So again, go to that link from above. Post a picture of your whip. And we'll talk about it and celebrate the painting. Yay! Yay! Hey, Giant Fox. Hey. Kakashi is really strong. Yeah. You wanna borrow some of my power? Okay. Alright, right now we got a couple from Rylan, which he said he wasn't painting today. Man, Rylan, you've been working, girl. Girl? Oop, I know who that is. I know who that is. That's a Malifaux model. I gotta get all the pictures ready so you guys don't look at my behind the paywall foot pictures. Those are mine. I paid for those, and you can't have them. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, this is what we were kind of going for, paint scheme wise. Mine, a little bit more unsaturated than theirs. But yeah, we were talking about this Malosaurus Rex in the background. I think I'm going to do something pretty similar to this, except I will probably do a green. And this is something that I think will be painted almost exclusively with airbrush. Like, this is an airbrush model, for sure. Probably do all the green and stuff, airbrush, and then come in and airbrush in the black and stuff. But I think after that, we might go in with a brush and really hit the highlights. But that's kind of my plan so far. Oh yeah, for sure. It's gonna be airbrush city. Came out really good though. Look at that thing. Whoever painted this, absolutely phenomenal. There's a brighter one. That's really cool looking too. Girl, you see this? That's amazing. What? That's really good. Whoever painted these, super well done. I don't think it was any of you guys, but if it was, pipe up. You deserve it. Okay, so this is Rylan. This looks to be... these are definitely some of the characters from the Hungering Darkness, which I believe is the honeypot keyword in Malifaux right now. I had the old one. These, I believe, are the new ones. Although Mr. Big Hands here looks the exact same than he used to be. I don't remember his name. But it's him and, like, the little tiny, the chatty guy. The guy that would, like, talk people to death. Which I think is hilarious. So is that who this ghost... I don't know who this is. Because this looks like... not the depleted... Let me look up what they got. This is all memory. This is all coming out of memory. Mr. Graves? Is that his name? If I got that right... What can I say? I got a memory. I got a memory only a mother could love. She's the bartender. She's named, but I can't remember it. Okay. Why is she green? Is she a ghost? Is she a spooky ghost? He's 10 Thunders. Jacob Lynch. Okay, it's not a soul battery. I don't think there are any other keywords. It's not a depleted. Beckoners. Okay, that's who this is. Oh, well, actually, sorry, that's the next picture. The Beckoners are like the lovely ladies. Mr. Tannen is the tiny one. Are these illuminated? Yeah, that's what these are. Okay, these are, those are definitely new sculpts. These are illuminated. From the honey pot box. I believe this is from the core box. She's a ghost. I stuck a rod between her legs so she's like... You can't say that. She's a lady. Okay. She's a ghost? How do you get a ghost? Yeah, Mr. Graves. Look at that. Boom. Look at that. Mr. Graves. I'm so good. Yeah, baby. I'm the best. Is it? It's not Gwyneth Mad. Oh yeah, look at that! It's a ghost. Kitty. Yeah, Kitty Dumont. How do you have a ghost be a bartender? That doesn't make sense. I am pretty cool. Thank you. Stuck a Rob Turner. She's a ghost. She's the bartender. How do you have a ghost? I don't know. I feel like OSHA should do something about that. That doesn't seem legal. Oh, she's a henchman. Oh, so is she supposed? Okay. Oh, they got a couple of henchmen. A couple henchmen now. That's cool. Man, times have changed. Ghost bartenders, Kara. That doesn't seem legal.
I did both. I did the episode and Calamity Jack again.
Oh, thank you. Everybody thank Kara for being a great editor, like always.
Podcast on time!
Yeah, everybody's on time. And now if it's late, it's on me. Because I'm stupid. Anyway, all I'm going to say, this is all I'm saying, okay, is that I think it's illegal to hire a ghost as a bartender. I don't think that's legal. Anyway, so let's look at the paint jobs.
Sounds like slavery.
It kind of does sound a little bit like the S word. That's true. Okay, so I want to say this is probably the new Hungering Dark. Look at the new one compared to the old one. Look at how stupid this thing. This was like I think we used to call it like the ghost or angry shrimp. Look at this stupid thing. It's so dumb. And then look at this thing. Look at that. You want to talk about a glow up, girl? I love it. I love the purple. It's really, really good. Especially like the paint. I keep getting distracted by just like what they are, and I'm not even looking at the paint schemes. I really dig these actually. I think it's cool that you did some special basing. It looks like bricks. I'm assuming that looks like a pre-molded thing. I'm assuming that wasn't like a green stuff roller. I'm gonna assume. That's just an insert. Okay, yeah. Because I got a couple of the ones from. Are they the ones from Custom Meeple? From Etsy? Because I got a couple of those and I really dig them. I was a little worried the primer was gonna block it out, but it actually holds up. I'm actually kind of shocked at how well they hold up. I love the ghost effect on the OSHA violator. I love that they put the rod in there. I can definitely see it right there. No, some other company and they weren't the right size. Yeah, I know. I was just about to say because it's weird because the custom Meeple ones are like slightly too big on the 30mm bases, so they like hang over it just a little bit. It's not enough for like anybody to really notice, but they're definitely standing at like just the slightest bit of skew. Which is whatever, but something I noticed. Anyway, I love the Huggy. I like the purple to pink. That's a really cool transition. You just hanging?
Are you hot? It's really cold.
I turned down the air a little bit. I'm comfortable right now.
Okay, well, you can stay comfortable.
I'm talking to Wilmar and Rylan. I'm hot.
I'll bundle up. Who painted that? It looks good.
It looks great. This is Rylan.
Wow!
Everybody thank Rylan.
Dang, Rylan, I thought all he had going for him was a smart mouth.
Was in wrestling. A lot of wrestling. Out of all of this, I really dig this dress. I think the dress is definitely the thing that draws my eye the most. I love that color. That's a great job. Which I believe these are illuminated. The new ones. I've only seen the old ones, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but yeah, I really dig this model. I love that's a great sculpt. Great job. I like the pink being the evil. Release the evil. Release the evil. Because of the models, it's like skin color. I think the pink is a pretty inspired choice. I like that. Really dig this. And I love your wood. It's really good. Your wood is very, very good.
Wow.
I would definitely bonk somebody with that thing.
Wow.
Wow.
Lewd.
Wow. What do you mean lewd? Mr. Graves is hitting somebody with a piece of wood.
Complimenting his wood.
Listen, it's not illegal. He paid for it. Okay, so this is one of the beckoners. She's a little suggestive. A little bit. I think she likes me. Guys, I'm probably going to have to close down the stream because I think she likes me. I think it's legit. I think we got like a thing going. Really good job. I like the black skin, the African American-y type skin. It's kind of spotty. Is that wash? Did you wash that? I love the idea of it. If you're worried about it, literally all I would do is just clean up the top of like the pec area and like a little bit on this arm thing, because even the spottiness of it might work to your advantage because she's clearly not well, because of the fact that she has evil, space evil in her or whatever. Oh, there you go. Well, I mean, that's fine because you can just paint over contrast. But honestly, what I would do is I would just get like maybe like mix some browns and skin colors and figure out a color that works for that, and then I would just kind of like lightly glaze it over. I bet it would really. I bet it would fix all your problems.
I like to use this peach, paint this down first, and then use the contrast skin color, any contrast skin color you want.
Well, it's an African American.
Yeah, but it still helps with the highlights.
Sure.
Because you have different contrast colors to give you different skin tones. So
there you go. That's true.
This would just help you get, you know.
There you go. I don't know if you heard her, but she said put down like a basic skin tone color and then just put your skin color of choice like over it contrast-wise.
And the more you do the contrast, the darker you get.
Yeah. And if you want to make her darker, just put more and more of it on there.
Because I did like somebody with muscles once. I can't remember who it was.
Anyway, good job. I like it. I think the skin. I agree. For the purposes of the narrative, I think the skin is fine, just because it is a like a sick person, I guess. I don't know how to put that. I don't know if that is like a paint chip or something like that. But yeah, you could fix that easy. I wouldn't even say you really need to fix it. It's fine. Not used to. Okay, this is the other. Okay, I didn't recognize this one either, but I saw her card. This is Gwyneth. I think her name was Gwyneth Maddox. She's a luck thief. She's a card shark. Look at that. She is the roving gambler. I think this is really good. She's, again, a lot of these characters are very suggestive. I don't know if this is PG-13, guys. She got a pistol on her hip like that? You can't have that in a gambling establishment. That sounds dangerous. Yeah, really dig this. You went with a black hair color. I think the paint job is brown, but I like how you did the rogue skunk. What do they call it? Like the skunk streak or whatever it's called. There's like a technical word for it. I don't remember what it is. I like it though. This is really good. Again, the skin. I'm assuming you did the skin kind of a similar way because it looks like it's doing a little bit of that like what's going on with that other one, or it like looked like kind of rough. I dig it though. I like the coat trim. That's really cool. That's good. Bum. So another Beckoner. Same. Here's the other Beckoner from a slightly different angle. Again, it looks like... Oh, you were trying to paint an eyeball. That's what that is. These are all pre-airbrush. Okay. So I'm assuming what you do now is a lot smoother. Because I could definitely see... Again, a lot of times the pictures don't really help. I'm sorry, not the pictures. The light doesn't really help, so it makes it look like... I don't want to say chunky, but it makes it look like not smooth. Great job. Again, I love the base. I like the... That's a great blonde, by the way. That's good. Good color choice for your clothing. Makes them look very seductive. This I don't recognize from anything specific. This is probably just like a D&D model. Or some kind of RPG model, I assume. Love the red. Good job on the shading and the skin. Yeah, actually, well, ironically enough, I'm assuming you're doing skin like this now. This looks way smoother. Yeah, it's just a regular D&D model. So if this is a more recent skin thing, then yeah, I think you could really fix that other stuff. Good color choice as he hovers in with the booty. Hi, Cheddar Boy. She's supposed to be an orc. I guess I could see that with the teeth. Aren't orcs usually green? I know that color blindness runs in my family. Hi, Jenner! Color blindness is in my family, but I don't think I'm that bad. I mean, sure, man, whatever. You do whatever you want to do. Listen, she's got this thing, she's got the skull. You guys are in for a good night. Listen, that's fine with me. Go do your thing. I'm not here to judge. Hold on, getting a business text. Frostgrave. Yep. That's a good model for that. I don't think I've ever seen an orc with that skin color. But that's fine. The skin color looks great. I didn't recognize that it was an orc, though. I'll fully admit that. Okay, so this is, I believe, another model for Honeypot, because I know there's some crossover between Honeypot and Kui and Quan. Is this Sen? Is this not Sen? Ki and Gong, which I think is the. Okay, that's specifically a geisha for Himetsu. Okay. Oh, I love the model. I love the gold, especially. Good job. Or the yellow, whatever it is. I'm assuming you were going for like a little bit of a cheeky non-metal metallic on that. Look at this transition! Oh, that's so good. Oh, I'm sorry, this is Wilmar's model. Yeah, sorry, this is yours. Yeah, that transition right there. Girl, I love it. Yeah, this looks great. So, you're crazy, dude. You're doing the skin last? Girl, you crazy. You did all this hard work, and then you're going to go in there and be like, I hope I could paint all the skin without ruining anything. Girl, you nuts for doing skin last. Working on the skin now, I just need to figure out how to do it with the white part. The white part. Oh, why just paint it white? Just kind of do some of the white we've been doing a couple weeks ago. Or is that like that gray-blue version of it? That looked really good. It really stand out. Yeah, dude, you're nuts for doing skin last. You're absolutely crazy. But I think it looks great so far. Yeah, the outfit looks phenomenal. Yeah, gray-blue. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Easy. Easy peasy. This is a warden from Guild. I think we're back to Rylan. I gotta look up what this is. Yeah, amazing job, Wilmar. I love that. I love that geisha. I'm excited to see that in person. I don't think this is a warden. I don't remember exactly what it's called. Nope, it's not the warden. It's the riot breaker. That's what that is. Yeah, that's definitely augmented. This is Guild for Hoffman. Dude, it's crazy. I'm just saying, like, whatever's the hardest to reach part, you just do it first. Because there's nothing more frustrating than putting in a ton of work and then going back and being like, oh, I gotta paint the thing that's literally underneath everything, and then the side of the brush taps something and it ruins the highlight. And you're like, Gah! It's very silver. I don't have a lot to say about it. I'm assuming. I guess that's actually just what it is. It's just a silver model. There's nothing wrong with that. I guess I like it. It's hard for me to say if I love it because the base isn't painted, so it kind of just blends in with it. It just looks like a big shiny thing. If it was me, I would put oil streaks and stuff going down the legs, and maybe a little bit of rust, and just grime them up. And that's how you do like terrain and stuff. If you want to finish terrain real quick, that's what I would do. Okay, all right, that's fair. Okay, there we go. Now he's got a little work. And then, yeah, okay, so he's got a big red eyeball. Yeah, he's definitely more shaded now. You can definitely tell. Okay, there's the grime. There's like the oily streak type stuff. Something that you could do that I learned from painting World War II tanks is you could always take like a graphite pencil. I guess that's every pencil. And you like rub it on the edges of stuff, and it makes it look like it's scratching down to the primer layer. Which I guess these models don't have a primer layer because they're just metal. Yeah, I would say maybe some gloss on the eyeball. He's not done yet. You always want to do. I don't know if he varnishes or not. Always do the gloss stuff after varnishing. So after you finish the base and everything. But I could definitely see the shading, whether that was by wash or on purpose. Well, maybe not on purpose. That's not the right way to put it. On like direct application. Something I learned from my time in the Navy, from painting World War II stuff, is if you use a black ink, which I don't know if I have one readily available. Actually, honestly, you could probably use transparent black from Monument Hobbies, and you could like trace a little like oil slick line from a joint. Like if you were to do it here at the knee, you could like do a little like you could actually give it a puddle, drag it down, and then do a couple of those coming from a joint, and it gives it like a crazy amount of like added weathering, I guess might be the right word. That's a really good way to kind of break up models that are all like one color, because like a lot of World War II tanks are just like a single color, and little things like that can really help make it stand out. But otherwise, I think even if you don't do that, I think it looks great. Big eyeball is definitely red, but this is one of those unfortunate situations where the model is literally a single, it's just literally a single color. And even if you even when you paint the base and you're done with it, you're just like, yeah, look at that, wham bam, thank you, ma'am, finished model. This is Baby Yoda, Grogu, looks good to me. I like the green. Good job on the eyes, like separating the. I'm assuming that's probably sculpted, but actually getting it to have two different sides of the cornea with the iris in the middle looks really good. And it's I love the differentiation between the fur, or the more like felt part of the what's that, robe, I guess? Is that what he wears? A robe? And he's also a wizard. And I'm not sure what this thing is, what it says. It's probably what you see is what you get, I would assume, is what that, probably what that says. I haven't watched the newest seasons of Mandalore, so if there's like a thing in there, I don't know what it is. I admit I don't know. Great job, guys. Everybody congratulate Wilmar and Rylan. Really well done. Even though Wilmar should probably be painting Malifaux models instead. But we're not going to hold that against them. Alright, we're going to do the last part of the Fuzzy Wuzzy Doggos. We're going to use a little bit of pure bleach bone. We're going to mix in that previous color just to tone it down, because this could come off a little strong. And we're just going to give a little love tap to the upper part of the models. And again, when you do a stipple like this, you are more likely to get a more rougher texture, which I think is perfect for painting something like a doggy, because fur has volume. Malifaux is next, if I finish small, otherwise Malifaux tomorrow. Well, look at that. Dude, we should hang out tomorrow. Wilmar, how about we do a stream tomorrow, where we paint Shatterpoint, potentially, and also Malifaux? What do you think of that? I'm probably not going to stop streaming tonight until both of these dogs, at least the dogs, are done. And I might do a little bit of Lord Cooper. or Lando. Because I want to finish models. And Kara won't get mad at me if I do it late at night. What?
I don't get mad at you. I never get mad at you.
That's not true.
Don't tell these people on the stream that we have an imperfect relationship.
It's perfect all the time. Nothing ever goes wrong. I definitely don't say something stupid. Ever. I am not a flawed human being at all. Doggo.
He's a pretty guy. I like his color.
Him and his sister. So I'm gonna put some fur patches in them. I'm not writing anybody's names or anything. In my dog's butt. Dueling pianos, except it's dueling Namors. I'm not buying a box for Namor. I'm not doing it. Maybe Tizzy sends me the one he buys. I paint it. You paint yours.
Do we need like a post office box so the stream people can send you things?
Oh yeah. What is it? A PO box. Something something West Oneana.
We can have it here in Boston.
Professional casual. I don't need people sending me stuff. Do you want more stuff in this house right now?
Oh God, not now.
Please.
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 At least get like
The Shatterpoint's got to
office
get out.
stuff out.
Yeah, well that should be happening tomorrow. She just told me she might not be in the office tomorrow because she might be trapped in Baltimore, but so I might just be home all day tomorrow. Go to the gym.
Walk the dogs.
Walk the dogs. Cry in the shower.
Yeah. Swipe on Tinder.
Meh. Meh. Toggle. See, yeah, Dan's got it. G. P.O. Box G, West Oneana.
Is that really
New York.
it?
Yeah.
G.
No, they talk about it all the time.
G. There's that many P.O. boxes that you guys only had to use the alphabet?
P.O. Box G. I guess
Does
so.
it go to Z?
They probably don't have. I mean, they're in Oneana. There's only like 300 people that live there. I mean, Dan is like 300 years old. Who the heck has a P.O. box?
You have to have a P.O.
Other than
box
old
for people
people.
to send stuff to you, or you end up.
Or you
giving
get
people
a lot of climbing
your-
chalk.
Yeah, you give people your home address, and then that's
You get ricin.
creepy.
You get a lot of ricin.
You gotta send it to the P.O. box.
P.O. box. Me.
Oh, please don't send any rice into our house. Our
Yeah,
poor
please.
postman is so fraidy cat.
So now we're just using a little bit of that Rhine oxide, and we're going to clean up some of these transition lines. Very, very watered down. I know a guy in Malden that would love to get all of your ricin.
Why do you know a guy that wants rices?
Because it's Wilmar. He was telling me just a couple nights ago, he's like, Dylan, I love ricin. It's the best. Huge fan. I use this ricin. It's the best ricin.
Ooh, you want to hear about
Not right now, no.
Voldemort's executive assistants new
Not on,
episode?
not on the stream, no.
Oh, come on, they want to hear about
No,
it.
they don't. Nobody cares. Nobody on the earth cares. That's good. Good for you, man. I don't know, Tim's that. Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's cool that you guys employed a legless man to get the mail. I bet he really appreciates that.
Everybody in Oneana needs a job.
That's true. Everybody in Oneana needs a job. That's what Kara said. And she's the lead economic head of where the money goes in Oneana. So.
Or at least in our house.
A dish here house. Oh, maybe if I don't have to go anywhere tomorrow, I'll go get fancy coffee. For me.
Yeah.
And no one else.
Live it up, babe.
Living La Vida Loco. So we're just using this brown to put a little bit more contrast in the paint job. And just, like I said, smooth some of those transition lines. You know, and I'm glad you guys can give him something to do. There you go. Bammo, Doggos. Look at that. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Now we're going to do some, like, fur patterns. Which I guess we'll do with black. Dan, I'm gonna do you. If you're not careful. Bucko.
Unapproved.
Kara doesn't need to know. Hi. Hi. Don't tell Tim. I'm not sure who wins that.
That would be me. Yes, thank you.
Alright, get a good picture here. It is nice painting together. You're right, Dan. I'm glad you could hang out with us. Okay, so dogs, generally speaking, their schnoofers are usually black. The bloodhounds, especially, they have like the front going down, like I don't know, jowls is the right word, but here going down is usually on the blacker side. It's usually not the color of their fur. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some watered down black, and I'm gonna start tracing in the areas that I want to be black. It's okay if this is not fully opaque, because we're gonna give this a little wiggle as we do it. You want to wiggle, Dan? You want to wiggle with me? And so what you can also do is get it, again, to be a little imperfect by stippling or making the pattern uneven. Because one of the cool things about dog fur is that it's usually not perfect. And so we don't want to mess with it too much while it's in the middle of setting, because you'll get a little bit of weird, like, streaking issues. So we're going to put some more patterns on them. I'm going to put some on their back to really help break up how much of the brown there is. So this one, I'm going to put them a little bit on their shoulder. Not a whole lot. Now you might be thinking, man, Dylan's really lost his mind. What's he doing? He took that perfect paint job and he's just ruining it.
Hey, is Dan there?
Dan is supposedly still here.
Hey, Dan, did Dylan give you any of the pictures that we took for Arachne stuff to put on the
No,
website?
that's not. No, I'm not putting it on the website. I'm putting it on the Facebook.
Well, where do we sell the T-shirts?
Streamlabs. He wouldn't. They don't control that. I could talk to Tim. I think Tim does that. I don't think Dan's in charge of that. Dan's a part of the team, but I don't think he does that part.
Sorry, Dan.
Yeah, Dan. Buzz off, nerd. So there you go. So now we're starting to get a little bit of a buildup of like a fur pattern. And again, it doesn't have to be He said no in caps.
Saw that.
Lindsay does. Yeah. Okay. Because we took pictures. We went and did headshots for like job pictures, and we brought. It was Kara's idea. I'll fully give her the credit on that one. Where we brought our Arachne shirts, and there are fancy couple pictures of us wearing Arachne shirts.
They're really cute. I actually think the Arachne pictures turned out better than everything else.
Actually, honestly, you're not wrong.
Like, there's that one picture where we're dressed up walking. That's really good.
That one's good. That one is really good.
And then it's like the rest are Arachne. So, are you gonna make those dogs like more red, or are you gonna keep them that khaki color that you're?
They're gonna keep. I'm keeping this khaki.
Yeah, I like that khaki color you're doing.
I go into it with just paints, and you know whatever comes out of it, I'm happy with it. I know what you guys are thinking. Dylan's lost his mind. He's lost his marbles. There he goes. Doesn't know how to paint a dog. So what we're going to do is we're going to do layers. I'm all content creation BB. Oh, I get what you're saying. So there you go. So now, as you notice, now that he looks more like a dog now, just because the mouth thing being a darker color than the fur is pretty consistent with dogs because of their schnoofers. Their schnoofers are usually black. Not always the case, of course, but usually the case. And just putting in that pattern helps break up that the brown we were using. I guess Kara's kind of right. It was more of a khaki. But it really helps. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to do layers of the black until it is more opaque in the middle, but it also has like a little bit of a transparent-y type thing that's going on here on the edges. I might not touch the edges at all. They look good to me. So then we got to do the same thing for Artemis. And I am using Abaddon Black Air, which is a GW paint. I really like their air paints because they are actually pretty good thinned because they're made for airbrush. So I'm a big fan of these. What are you painting, Dan? You painting your mama? Oh, got him. Working for, yeah, really? Is that right? Yeah? You're working for or working on? Oh, is it one of those situations? You're replacing Dallas, is that's what? Yeah, that's probably what's happening. Oh, I said too much. Oh no.
I was like, oh fuck. That's gonna get clipped.
I can't believe I said that. I know what you guys are thinking. I can't believe Dylan said that. He must have lost his mind. If anybody here is a fan of dog snoofers, give me an amen. I love doggo snoofers. They're schnozzers.
So anybody who's still watching you prefers Dr.D's Deezaster Zone over House of the Dragon.
Oh, that's true.
Episode 2 premiere.
That's true. 35 people more interested in Dylan than wrestling, which is only on Mondays.
That's not true.
Well, that's when Rylan watches it.
Okay. But there's also wrestling on many other nights.
It's always wrestling.
There's always wrestling.
There's always some wrestling going
There
on.
was a time in my life when I knew how to watch wrestling every day of the week.
Look at that pattern. It looks like a doggo. Wow. So I'm going to put a little bit on the edges of the ears on this one. And of course, we are going to have to paint the toe beans, the little pads on the bottom of their feet. I guess it's only one. Yeah, I guess you can only see one on Artemis. But the pads are usually black, I think. Kind of depends on the dog. So that one we're going to need a bit of a finer brush. I love doggos. Okay, going back. Start reinforcing the black parts. So I'm not going to go all the way out because I really want the edges to look like they're blending with the rest of the fur so that it transitions. And then you even want to go back after you like clean the brush off real quick to kind of move the edge of the paint a little bit just so it doesn't create like a super hard edge. And you should start to get a transition-y effect like that. It's hard to see when it's wet. I'll show you when it's not wet. Paint a snoozer. Uller is a good boy. It's true. Warning Growl is very, very good. Big fan of that ability. He stands by your friends and he's like, "Don't you bite my friend." Oh no, I lost audio.
Buy Mountain Dew.
What happens if I switch the audio thing? Well, because it drops all the audio. I'm assuming that didn't fix it.